How old are your state?
Let's find out. New couch!
New couch. Very excited. It's very
Smells
comfy.
better.
What?
It smells better.
Okay.
It's from Target. I'm not gonna regale you with the challenge it was to even get it in the car
Yeah, that was fun.
and then bring it up the stairs.
We both only have sedans, and his is a regular sedan, and I have a coupe. So,
Yeah. Mine's a luxury, so I thought it would be
big enough?
big enough.
It was not.
Yeah.
We had to call people to see if they had a truck that they
Yeah.
could help us, and we called his aunt.
My crackhead aunt.
She's not a crackhead, but she has a lot of crackhead ideas. She's like,
Take it
what
out
if
of the
you
box.
take it out of the box? We're like,
That's a good idea.
yeah, and then it fit. So, then the
It-
other one was getting the old couch out of here.
Still barely fit.
Yeah, it was real hard. Actually, it was a lot harder to get out.
Hard, yeah.
So, but it's fine. Uba likes it. He hasn't scratched it yet. So, yeah.
If he does, I'll show you my new underwear.
Be really itchy underwear.
Really soft.
Yeah.
Depends which side I have on the outside.
Yeah. I don't even know where he is.
It's right there on the TV.
Right. Well, today I have a two-parter.
Ooh.
We don't usually do two-parters on this this series, but it's a really long story. Kind of. It's also old, but
What
it
it
has
about?
a recent development. It's called The Boy in the Box, or America's Unknown Child.
Oh! I think I saw something about that.
Yeah.
Didn't they put his body where they put Smoking Joe?
Yep.
Or Smoking Joe's, you know,
Yup.
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier.
That's where he's buried too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Wanna get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. The Boy in the Box story has become the most infamous story out of Philadelphia. It used to be an unsolved mystery for 60 plus years, but investigators have seemed to almost crack the case. The case starts on the rainy evening of February 23rd, 1957. A college student from LaSalle University had parked his car right off of Susquehanna Road and began to walk across a vacant lot. This unnamed man was allegedly a peeping Tom who was on his way to spy on some girls at the nearby Good Shepherd home, a Catholic residence for wayward girls. However, before he could reach his destination, he had stumbled upon a box in the overgrown lot that had contained something weird. Seemingly spooked, the man forgot the reason he was out in the first place and got into his car and left. He had neglected to call the police by himself, but did tell his priest, who then told him to contact the authorities, who can check the box out more. That's the beginning of the story.
I assume the boy in the box is this thing in this box.
Yeah.
So a pervert is out one day trying to peep
Yeah,
on some girls who are not even close to being 18 yet.
probably not.
And he just stumbles upon this box containing a boy, who I assume is
Deceased.
not. Oh, I thought he was just not doing too good. But
No.
okay, yeah. Finds
So-
a dead boy in a box while he's out, with his perversions. That
Yeah.
doesn't. That's not a good look.
Yeah. I didn't put this in the story, but it was originally found by a guy and he had muskrat traps. He found the box, but he didn't call the police because he was afraid that the police would confiscate his muskrat traps. Which, this is in the 50s. I don't know much about muskrat traps, but are they really that important? No.
Honestly,
Why would you? Why?
I don't know what a muskrat is. I'm only assuming that maybe it's another way of saying a skunk.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think the only thing that I can think of is that they use it for pelt and they sell it
Right.
pelt. But that's the only thing that I can think of.
In PA, we have weird names for things. I mean, everybody else calls them groundhogs. You know, we call them whistle pigs.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I do know why, but...
On February 25th, 1957, the police had arrived at the vacant lot after responding to the call made by the student, who told them he was, quote, chasing a rabbit through the weeds when he came across the box.
He was after a girl.
The police found a large cardboard box that had once contained a bassinet from J.C. Penney, but now housed a small boy who had been deceased for some time now.
What?
He was, yeah.
Can I just point out how sad that is?
Yeah. This whole story is awful.
Not, yeah, the boy's dead. He's in a box. He has no proper burial, but a box for a bassinet, something early in a child's life that's supposed to give him security and parent security, and then this very young boy is dead in that same box.
Yeah.
Is there like some poetic irony in that? Like,
no.
I don't know. I just kind of feel it. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes the story all that more
Yeah.
awful to hear.
Jeez.
He was wrapped in a plaid blanket, but it was like faux Native American style plaid. They
So
just called it plaid.
It's a pattern blanket.
Yeah. They called it plaid, but they referred to it as an Indian blanket. So it had Native American patterns on it, but it was just obviously wasn't a Native American blanket.
1950s.
Searching around the box, they also had discovered a man's hat made from royal blue corduroy with a buckle and a leather strap in the back. The first officer who arrived on scene, Elmer Palmer, was recorded saying, quote, "It's something you don't forget. This is one that bothered everybody."
I couldn't imagine finding a kid in a box.
Yeah.
How old was he?
I was just... Do you want to guess how old he is? Oh, I'm going to get into it in my next paragraph.
I'm guessing 5, if he's fitting in a box.
Okay. The autopsy was performed by Philadelphia's chief medical examiner, Dr. Joseph Spellman. His report had the boy being about 4 to 6 years old, with blue eyes and light blonde hair that had been haphazardly cut. He was 41 inches tall and weighed only 30 pounds. He soon determined the cause of death for the small boy. The boy was savagely beaten that left fresh bruises on his face, and the body of the boy was severely malnourished and had 7 scars, 3 of which were thought to be surgery scars. 1 on the ankle, thought to be from a blood transfusion, 1 on the groin, apparently from a hernia surgery, and an L-shaped scar under the chin. Some of the other scars consisted of 1-inch scar on the left side of his chest, a round scar on his elbow. There were no scars from vaccinations, leading to the idea that he had not been enrolled in public school.
It kind of sounds like this kid, I'm already speculating,
Fine.
possibly was born with health issues, and he was a child of a poorer family. So in order to save their kid, you know, they were spending like most of their money on these hospital visits, doctor's visits, to keep him alive, but not enough left over to send him to like public school or like anything like that to get his vaccines. He just got what could keep him alive, and I guess, I'm speculating, it just got so much of a strain, especially at that time. I mean, it's not the Great Depression anymore,
Right.
but it's still not good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing one of the parents or both the parents, took their frustration out on him.
That was pretty on par with the time, too.
Yeah.
That just happened a lot.
Yeah. And Philly's huge factory, you know, working blue collar. Industrial.
Yeah.
So, big work, not a lot of money. So, at that time, people were working like 18-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
And still not even making enough to survive.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no contraception or anything like that at the time that's affordable or like good for that matter. So multiplying like rabbits. Something like that.
Yeah.
Irish immigrants especially. That's what they got slapped for. So that's my speculation, that he was very sick. And there was a lot of money thrown at him. And there was just not enough to keep the whole family happy or anything like that, and they just took it out on him. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. The report consisted of other odd details about the boy. His palm and soles of both feet were wrinkled and rough, suggesting that they had been submerged in water immediately before or after death. When shining a UV light in the boy's eyes, the left one glowed a bright shade of blue, indicating that he had undergone a diagnostic dye used in treatment of a chronic eye disease. Dr. Spellman points out head trauma thought to be inflicted by some kind of blunt object, but could not specifically rule out that this had been caused by pressure to the head, like squeezing.
Like somebody hit him over the head.
Yeah, more than likely. The box the boy came in originally held a baby bassinet from JCPenney. Bassinet was one of a dozen received on November 27th, 1956. It was sold for $7.50 between December 3rd, 1956 and February 16th, 1957 from a store in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. While there were no other individual record sales, 11 other bassinets were located by detectives.
$7.
Right?
For a bassinet.
Yeah.
Now, like what, $200 for a good one?
Maybe. Well, here's the thing though. A lot of the bassinets back then did not account for all the dangers that we know now of babies sleeping. Like, people put their babies in their cribs with blankets and stuffed animals and stuff, and you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. That was new, I think, for us.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, newish for, like, my brother, who's, like, 3 years older than us, and then us. Yeah. Like, you just started doing that.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's probably just a, piece of wood.
Slapped together.
Yeah.
Right.
Investigating the blanket produced little leads as well. It was made out of cheap cotton flannel and had recently been washed and stitched up with poorly made cotton thread. The blanket itself was cut into 2 unequal pieces and wrapped around the body. Philadelphia Textile Institute analyzed the threads on the blanket and had concluded that it had either come from Swanoa, North Carolina, or Granby, Quebec. This blanket had been mass-produced and could not find where it had been sold.
You know what kind of supports my theory a little bit? Yeah, he was in a cardboard box. But they still wrapped him up.
Right.
And with death, oftentimes there's like a burial shroud. You usually just wrap the dead up and then you bury them. But they didn't have enough money to bury him. So they still gave him the care of wrapping him up. You know what I mean?
Can I rebut?
Please.
It could just be hiding the boy just so he could decompose in
that is true.
Cardboard box in a vacant lot.
That is true.
So you don't immediately see, oh my gosh, there's a child
That's
in
a
here.
child. That's true. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, could be a lot of things.
Could be a lot of things.
After
it's very sad. Sorry.
It's okay. After the primary discovery, everyone thought that the identification of this boy would be quick and easy. Someone had lost their child or family member, and someone could come forward shortly reporting someone missing. But, like always, this was not the case. The police started to create flyers with the boy's face on them that said "Information Wanted." They had 3 profile views of the boy, as well as a photo of the blanket that he was wrapped in, as well as a blue corduroy cap that was found near the body. The city of Philadelphia sent out these flyers with every gas bill, trying to reach as many people as possible. The crime scene was combed over multiple times by 270 police academy recruits who had found a child's scarf and a white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner. Along with the blue hat, these clues all led nowhere. Along with the flyers, the police had also released a photo of the deceased boy fully dressed in a sitting position to see if someone would recognize him that way, as if he was still alive, with the hope that someone would report something. That was pretty common back then, unfortunately.
I understand why.
Right, but it's
messed up a little bit, but...
Yeah.
They were putting the picture or the flyer with what's on the gas receipts.
Well, the city of Philadelphia would send you a physical gas bill, and you would have to, like, mail them a check or cash.
Oh,
they
for
would
your
just...
house. Okay.
Yeah, they would just put it in with their mailing.
I thought they were like, here's this flyer with your receipt for your gas.
No. Well, yeah, house gas bill.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They would just send it out.
Wow.
Which is smart. I mean, it reaches the whole city of Philadelphia.
Good job, Pico. Doing your job for once.
The boy was eventually buried in Philadelphia's Pottersfield, near the Philadelphia State Hospital at Byberry, which was a mental institution. Detectives who worked the case had eventually collected enough money to give this boy his first headstone that read, quote, "Heavenly Father, bless this unknown boy."
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen this gravestone. Like I said before, we went to the same cemetery where Smoking Joe Frazier's, and it is sad, but it's kind of cool as how as a community, like people in the general area, not just where this cemetery is, people come from like all over to put stuffed animals, little notes,
Hot Wheels,
and hot toys, yeah, next to his stone. And like, once you're a couple feet, like, it's one thing to see a picture of it, I'm sure you'll show a picture of it, but to be like feet away from it, you can just feel the I can't even, yeah,
of it.
I can't describe it. It's just such a negative, down feeling. But you see the toys and all the kindness that people are giving this kid that they don't even, nobody knows his name. It's just kind of beautiful in its own way. It takes away the negative for a second.
Yeah.
It's just really, really upsetting.
Yeah. To hear the details of the story and just to understand that this is such a young boy that was like literally dumped out like a piece of trash.
Yeah.
Like
in a back alley.
Right. It's like awful.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know nothing, but the other thought is, like you said, he was struck over the head.
More than likely.
And it's just like, that could have been his parents, that could have been a stranger, but at the end of the day, it's still a kid getting hit by someone he trusted in the moment.
They can't do anything.
They can't do anything.
It's a child. He's like, what, 41 inches tall?
Yeah, he should be in kindergarten, you know?
Yeah.
He should be, you know, on the rug, story time and stuff like that.
Right.
But he didn't get that.
Right.
Instead, somebody just threw him out. Full disclosure, I've seen the gravestone, but I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah. It's a hole. It's a big hole.
I just knew he's a boy with no name.
Yeah.
I assume.
He also has a I don't know if it's like this in every other state, but in Pennsylvania, if you're near a historical site or a historical city, they'll have a blue placard on the side of the road that kind of tells you the very SparkNotes version of the history of whatever it is. There's one right outside the cemetery. There's a ton in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
This story mainly took place a little outside the main parts of Philadelphia that you think is Philadelphia. More down Kelly Drive and almost in Roxborough.
I was going to say Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Isn't that where the cemetery is?
Technically, technically, but the mailing address is Philly. It's Cheltenham. That's where he's buried, though.
Okay.
It was on Ferry Road, I believe, which is actually the road that we turned on to go to Laurel Hill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is part 1.
Mm-hmm. Leave you all hanging.
Yeah. I'm still heated. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't kill kids.
They don't bounce.
Bye.